So here's the game plan. We're gonna play around with the settings, make sure it's not too loud. We're gonna go for a walk at 4 in the morning, 4:30 or 5, and then we're gonna talk. And if no one shows up, I'm gonna talk to myself. Yeah. So it's officially the first day of. Yo, what's going on, Russell 50? Where you from? Where you from? Where you from? Let's do roll call. As you know, I'm in Tokyo, Yokohama, actually. Walking around. Yeah. City, Cali. All right, Bay Area. I have some people down in the Bay. The Bay. Actually, I teach a student. He's what is he? He's 7, 8, 10. I think he's 10. Hey, yo, what up, Sly Kid? Oh, you know what I should have done? Maybe I should. Maybe I should. I don't know. Nah, 'cause I need both hands. Recently, I started picking up garbage, recycling, keeping the earth clean, whatever. I was gonna do that today, but I need two hands, one for the bag and one for. We'll do that later. Focus. So, y'all who are stateside, what's the situation with schools? Like, are they still homeschooling? Are they on vacation now? In Japan, they just kept. We stopped homes. Well, they didn't do homeschooling, but we we had like 1 month of quarantine, 1 month of I was sitting in the schools but not teaching. Then after that, it was business as usual. Summer break is happening for most countries. Yo, it's crazy, man. The Olympics are gonna be here. I think tomorrow it starts officially, and there's already been cases of COVID. Schools are back in person. All right, cool, cool. I know a lot of my friends with kids were kind of going crazy because they, you know, when kids go to school, it's free time, and now you're stuck with them. And not everyone's meant to be a teacher. My parents were, they did the night shift. And then when they came home, they were sleeping and blah, blah, blah. I probably, I don't know what it, but my mom's pretty good with this kind of stuff. Like when I was doing the MBA, she was, my mom, she, uh, she, um, she graduated, or no, she didn't graduate. The highest level she completed was middle school. But when it came time for MBA, when I was taking my GMAT, she was killing it. Like, wow. I always say if my mom was born in the States, things would have been different. I don't know how different how the States are. But yeah. So today I want to take you on the path that I walk well, not every morning, but the usual path. Man, did it. So it's been crazy, man. The lady in your thumbnail, does she do bike tours in Kyoto? Nah, she's a traveling model. So where is she from? She's from the States, I believe. Yeah, she's from the States. Have you been to? I have not. She's from the States. She came. We did 2 shoots together. Mad chill. Just some of the best models I work with, they don't live in Japan. I think that's partly why they're the best models, because they come out here and they just be like, they're just gonna enjoy it. It's the first time they're in Japan. They're just doing their thing. Most of the models in Japan, they're teachers, and they'd be like, I don't want anyone to see the pictures because, I'm a teacher. I mean, understood. So they're kind of different. Or if they're not teachers, they're just on some craziness. But yeah, we're back. Person University. Yo, for university, college, I don't. Were they discounting the prices? Because who was I talking to? In Japan, yeah, in Japan, one of my coworkers, they're doing like Zoom lessons, and she's like you pay for the experience, right? What's going on, Ace Master? You pay for the experience of. Cause I did an online class, but I decided to do like in-person class for my business school, cause you know you're paying for that interaction. Like it should not, especially with the MOOCs, the massive online something something something. Those are practically free. But it's a business. But I would have been in my office debating them. I debate everything. Like, listen. I'm paying for your. But anyway, that's neither here or there. But yeah, man, it's been a crazy year for everyone. We're all adjusting, getting back into things. Can you guys hear that sound? Well, not the dog, but the birds. Like, this is my favorite time of day. In the morning, it's not so hot. You just got nature doing nature things. Dogs doing dog things. Oh, it's those people. So yeah, for those of y'all who know what's good, so I'm on vacation for a month or so. So what are your opinions on live streams and content? And I'm still working. I got a part-time job, but I'll have my mornings. And yeah, I was thinking of. I don't plan on doing one every day because here's them dogs right there. But once a week, twice a week. Actually, for the music side, that's really where all my focus is going. Um, if you check out the Messi Pro, or if you're on my Instagram, I think I finally got the my system down. So now, plug and play. I plug a microphone into the camera, the iPhone. I mean, I've been doing that for a minute, but that microphone broke. So I got a new one like a month, 2 months ago. And I got a new phone. The phone has this massive battery. It's like the iPhone Max Pro, some shit. So that shit lasts for good forever, and it could power things. And I figured out how I can some different workflows. So now the last piece of that component is how to release it, because these videos are going to be long. Like I did one yesterday or the other day. I just got off of work, and I was just testing it out, and I was rapping for an hour. Phone didn't die. The music was there. And the cool thing about this technique, the beat, I used one beat for the whole hour, and the beat was 88 BPMs. So then, when I brought it into my workstation, DAW, I could flip the beat. I could switch it up because I'm rapping to this beat, so everything I put underneath it is gonna work. Instant remixes, infinite remixes. So I just gotta figure out some things. But I'm excited, man. Like that is just crazy. So I want to work on that over the break and start releasing these. Some people are like, "Yo, you got to put this up on SoundCloud." I'm gonna do one better. I'm gonna put that up on Spotify. Just a non-stop barrage of freestyles. Plus, I can also go back in there and, because these are freestyles, these are just ideas, so I can go back in there, and since everything's lined up, I could make a song over a song, and then the editing, I got this program that I could, yeah, yeah. Yo, real quickly, how's it sounding? Because it sounds like it's loud, but maybe it's not. I'm not sure. So today is I've listened to all your projects on Spotify. Thank you. I I don't know anything about Spotify. All I know is the online distributor that I use. It just puts it on everything. And I know every 3 months I get a check for like $5 from Spotify. And I'm like, who be listening to me? But I appreciate that. I'm gonna put more content up there. But yeah, man. I don't know. I was good, man. For a minute, I was doing a little detoxing from social media. I think everyone needs to do that. 'Cause social media is, it's different. Who can prepare for this, or who was prepared for that? So yeah, I just wasn't on it. No Insta, no no. Cool. I have 2 Insta channels. Actually, I got 4 Insta channels, but I wasn't doing anything on any of those channels. I don't use Facebook. I only have it because family's on there, and it makes it easy to sign into a couple of things. But of all social sites, I do not like Facebook, and then Instagram, then YouTube. My Twitter account is there again. Some things you sign into it, but yeah, that was about 2.5 months not doing anything, and I feel good. I need that break. I mean, the last time I was on here was around my birthday, and I was doing things every day. Blah, 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 blah. But yeah. But in that time, that interim, I never know if I'm using the words right because I don't use those words. I just read them and then they just be at the surface of my brain. But I was reading a lot of books. I read books about how to make music. Read books about chord progressions, song structure. It's like I went to a little mini college for music making. And now I'm excited to apply those things. Like, what was it? Oh, I also was reading about pop music, which then prompted me to, yo, I'm all over the place. You see those shoes down there? I've been taking pictures of shoes, just random shoes. Because, like, who just walks around leaving their shoes? Or sometimes you just see one shoe, like a little kid shoe. Hey, what's going on, Africa Bound? Yo, Ryman, I never thought I'd ever get to see you on these. Well, that's mostly my fault. I don't be announcing them. I mean, I follow some beat makers and app people, and they be like doing all this pre-promotion and stuff. I just pop up. So last night, before I went to bed, I posted, say I'm going to. And I was 1 minute late. Because I wanted to set up this mic. I wanted to do it, if I'm going to do it. But yeah, like, look at the sky behind me. Like, this is just a beautiful day, morning. It's going to get hot. Like, now it's so hot that I got to turn on my AC. I always joke and someone took it personal. I'm gonna get into that. But I was saying my dad's Jamaican and he don't ever be turned on the AC. In fact, we didn't even have an air conditioner. I was the first in my family to buy one to keep my equipment cool, or to keep me and it's mostly the equipment. I don't mind sweating, but I was worried that if my equipment, I know nothing about the Olympics. I know they're having it. I know some of my friends are doing like volunteer shit with it, but I'm trying to stay as far away from Olympics as possible. Yeah. But I did see this sign the other day. It was like a rally. I think the government was doing some pro Olympic thing, and there were some people protesting it. They're like, now this is the crazy part. It said, what was it? It seemed like they were piggy riding off the phrase Black Lives Matter, because they were saying something like all lives matter or Olympic lives don't matter, something like that. And there was this old lady with a sign. I was thinking, is it connected? I'm pretty sure it would have been. Vaccine. We got an envelope, which I haven't opened up yet. I'll probably do that today. So we can get the vaccine. And my work sent me an email saying if we need to take off, we need to take a paid holiday to get the vaccine. I'm scared, I'll tell you that. I don't want to take it, but I want to go. I'm going home for winter. My dad's sick, and this may be the last time I see him. So I don't have a choice. I have to go home. And the vaccine, I'm gonna need to be documented that I took it so I can just easily slide into my country and slide the hell out. I mean, I just don't, like, here's my little history, man. I don't take the flu shot. When I got a cold, I don't take cold medicine. When my tummy hurts, I just sit there and do the tummy hurt song. Like, the only time I take medicine, I wish I would have taken it when I had the chance before the hospital 10 days from. I mean, I'm not one of those. I'm not wearing a mask right now, but I'm not one of those. It's not real. Like, I know that shit is real. I don't sit there and court it. Like, there's people. I know some people who are like, it's not real. It's not real. It's not real, and then they did get it. It's almost like, oh, you don't think I'm real, huh? Bam, and they got it. And I live alone. I don't want to be sick out here because I don't lean on people so much. So I'd probably just suffer. I'd probably die from that. What is going on over here? Can you see that in the background? Can I zoom up in here? I can't. All right, so you see there's one gray cat, one black cat, and then there's another cat. Just let me see if I can get up in there. I don't want to disturb them. But I'm curious why they lined up like that. Maybe they're getting a vaccine. They look cute. Are they real? Yeah, they're real. Hey, kitty. That's a cute kitty. Look how they lined up. And they looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, can we help you? But yeah. Let me see. Let's hit some comments here. I can never see these things. Live chat. There it is. Are you making a chicken? Got the vaccine. Wish I had. I feel you, man. I don't trust it. Yeah. Trust. Trust. But trust me, I don't want to be sick. I might hate vaccine. I don't even know how you take it. Is it a needle? If it's a needle, I just might not do it. But if it's medicine, I could do medicine, like liquid form. I can't do pills. They don't seance. They don't seance. What was that? They don't seance. But yeah, man. Plus I'm a teacher, so 2 needles. Is it like a big, stupid looking, scary needle or like a little cute needle? Well, it's Japan. It might be an anime needle, all cute and kawaii. I was telling someone that's how you know that that COVID is being what's the word implemented, because they started making cute things with masks. I don't look. I hate needles. Man, needles, needles. I think that's one of the reasons that drugs never appealed to me. I mean, I guess when you're a crackhead or whatever. I don't know what. I mean, that the cats were doing. Ah, yeah, but they were cool though. They were just chilling, 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 chilling. But yeah, I want to live. So when I get home, I'm gonna read that paperwork and try to get this done in the summer. But yeah, I'll let you guys know how that go. A while ago, I was doing my physical. We're gonna go down here, and the woman, it was all women. About 8 different people came and stuck me with the needle trying to pull blood. They kept sticking me, stick, 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 stick. All right, try this way, stick, stick, stick. And they just kept doing it. And I had to work that day. I think I went in there at 12-ish, and I had to go to work at like 5. And they just kept sticking, sticking, stick. I mean, they did the whole physical thing. Everything was good. And then it came to that last part to get some blood. And they just kept sticking me, sticking me, sticking me. And I was trying to, grit it up. But then after I missed, I had to make a phone call. Like, listen, work. There's no way I'm gonna make it because I'm at the hospital and they sticking the shit out of me. And they're like, all right. I had to call off. And we didn't even get it done. I'm like, I'm going home. I'm done. I'm done. Cause what they were doing is they're sticking me, right? Stickety stick stick. And they're laughing about it, like smiling, like, like what the fuck's so funny? I don't like needles. You guys are not able to do what you got to do. You're making this more, and they're just laughing. Yeah. So the next day I came in there. I'm like, "Are we good? You go, you go." But it went okay. I would have hit him with a refund. I want my money back. It was like $300. But anyway, maybe things have changed. Who knows? All right, so let's see what else. What's good? What's good? What's new? Um, uh, the other day I came up with this theory, or I'm reading this book, and all the books I read just kind of blend together, and they give me these thoughts, these theories. I synthesize it. But basically, it was like something like this. Um, we're all different. Everyone could agree with that. We're all different. And that's the basis of it. We're all different. But we're similar in the same way. See, this is where it gets crazy, right? We're all different, but we're similar in the way we're different. Oh, man. But yeah, so we're all different, and that's the cause of many of the conflicts that we have as humans. We're different. And you can go any way with this. You can go with, my favorite is always new generation versus the old generation. For example, when I started making videos, I'm posting them on YouTube, it wasn't so much I was a new generation YouTuber. It was just kind of, I was just doing my own thing. And I remember that there's the people before me who are all like, well, as a J-vlogger, you have to like do Japan stuff. And I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm just this dude who lives in Japan and I ain't gonna do none of that shit. And I remember there was a little rift. And I'm like, then you're not really a J-vlogger. Like, first of all, don't call me a J-vlogger. didn't like that name. But then there was also the rift with my artist friends. Like, oh my gosh, you. Well, they never said it directly to me, but they'd be like, people who make videos on YouTube are so lame. They say that today, man. It's funny. It's not funny, but it's the perception. Because if you turn on the video, you can. I noticed you walk a lot. How many miles you walk? Man, I walk so much that my shoe, I bought a cheap ass shoe. The little bubble thing broke. But I do about 5. I'm in KM. Let me see. KM, 4 KM, 8, 10 KM a day. Love it, man. Just walking. If I ain't doing this, I'm listening to my audiobooks, and on every Saturday I pick up garbage around this area, which makes it hard for me to walk when I'm not in garbage mode, because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's garbage, I gotta pick it up. But if I don't got my bag and my little clippity clip things. But yeah, so riffs. You also see the rift in music, old rappers, new rappers. You see it in color, like it's just everywhere. There's always a rift amongst humans for some weird ass, not weird, because we're different. Anyway, so you probably all know that. What makes you walk so much? A habit? I mean, no one's ever asked me that one. I mean, I mean, I don't need to be walking right now. I could have done this in the house, but I walk because, well, as I mentioned in the beginning of this is, look at this. I mean, maybe you see that blue sky. It's quiet. There's a sun on my face. Like, it's just beautiful. I'm just walking, you know? That's one reason. It's beautiful. I read in some books that creative people walk, which only confirms. I mean, I've been walking. I've been walking all my life. One, because I never had a car. I mean, I had a car, but I didn't have a car. Two, it's slow time. I just got back from my walk. Get that nature, man. Yes, sir. 3, it's the poor man's exercise. I mean, I was doing running for a little bit, but then it started raining. I tried to run in the rain, but that shit's scary, man. I'm scared of everything. But I don't have like a proper dryer, so if I have wet shoes, they're just gonna be stinking and getting all moldy. So I need like 2 pairs of shoes. But I did like running. It was cool. Because there's this kind of camaraderie when other runners see other runners. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I really do. There's this camaraderie where they look at you. And I started to get it too. Like, I would see some dude with this huge, I don't know if it's a beer belly, but he just had a huge tummy. And he's sweating and walking. And I don't know when he started. I know nothing about him, but when I respect that he's out there doing what he needs to do. Because sitting on the couch ain't gonna remove his tummy. But anyway, another reason I walk is to clear my thoughts. I'm walking on a red light. Or freestyle. What was the AC story? AC story, wow. Done lost that one. AC. Oh yeah. Oh, so I'm now in my house, my dad didn't use the AC because he's Jamaican. And one time I was saying that and someone's like, don't talk about Jamaicans. Not all Jamaicans are like that. And they're not. But my dad was. So these days I don't use the AC unless it's like so hot, which right now it is hella hot. When I come in from the house, I'm just sweating, and I don't cool off. I'm just sitting there sweating, and it's hard for me to make music because the drip, the sweat is dripping on my equipment. So I have no choice. In fact, I got to move all my equipment back into the room with the AC. Okay, but yeah, I want you to hear this sound, not the this bird. Actually, let me go into the forest. Maybe this is where the bird lives. It's going like that sound. This shit's all like jungle like. They ain't out here cutting. You hear him? Her? Why the caged bird sings? It's not even caged. Why the uncaged bird sings like that? I think I've seen him, like him or her. It was in front of my house. It's like a big ass spider that's downfall. Whoa, don't be telling me I know spiders, man. I'm out in spider country now. Like, we got them ground spiders, the ones that that walk on the ground, hunter spiders. And sometimes I see them. Like they're as big as a mouse. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but they're pretty big. You can see them, and they just be. I'm not afraid of them. Yeah, this used to be a cherry tree. I was sitting right here doing my thing. Now it's just a tree doing its thing. But oh yeah, I think I got all my topics in there. So it's hot now, and that's another reason to walk, cool down. And the smells. Like right now, I'm by this little lake, river, stream thingy, and it has that lake, river, stream smell. Like you're actually, I think you guys can hear what I'm hearing. Like that's just peaceful, man. Peaceful. Beautiful. So yeah, I think that wraps it up. That's why I walk, for all those reasons. Every now and then I have a walking buddy. Actually, you kind of get roped in. If you're with me and we happen to be walking, next thing you know, we're just walking and talking for a long ass time. You weren't really expecting it, but that's how it is with me. But yeah. So back to my theory, right? Um, Everyone's different. That's where the conflict comes from. And would you ever get a pet? Uh, I was talking to my friend the other day, my ex, and I was just saying something along the lines of, Japan's lonely. And she said something like, why don't you get a pet? She was dead serious. We live together, so she knows I'm not like a pet kind of guy. But I do get attached to whatever. So, a dog would have been cool. I guess the one reason is because I'm never home. I work every day. Now I'm on vacation, but I'm working, so I don't know how this pet would be able to function in the house. And my house is not. I would need like a house with a yard and all that, and maybe a proper partner. But that'd be cool, man, to have a little dog, be out here walking. That'd be another another thing. Now I would be walking and seeing other dog people, and we'd be doing the dog thing and like, how's your dog, man? Like that. But for now, I mean, I can get a frog, turtle, lizard, snake, beetles. Some of my students got beetles. Dead serious. Like he's like 5. He had to write a speech, and his speech started with, "I really respect my beetle." And I'm like, is he talking about a beetle? Beetle? Like, yeah. And on the day of the speech, he brought this beetle box. The box was bigger than he was. And he was serious. I don't know. I would feel bad if I was like, if I if let's say in this, for example, I happened to be married, dating his mom, and one day I came, oh shit, a beetle, and I kill that shit. And the next day I come to the kitchen table and Junior is all like, ooh. And she's like, somehow the beetle died. And I'm like, oh shit. But yeah, that'd been bad on me. Yo, I need to get out of here because I didn't spray my legs. I got on my little shorts. It means bugs are gonna be biting the hell out of me. Yo. All right, hold on. Let me flip this. Let me flip. Can I flip it? All right, here. Zoom in, zoom in. Can you see him? Wait, come on, come on. Get out of there. I can't. There he is, right? I mean, you can't really see him, but this bird, I've never seen him in my area. Man, man. Like, look at this face. Look at this face right here. This is a. Look at that bird. Oh, it is him. Oh snap! It's a. It looks like a hummingbird. It has a silk. I'm serious. This is what's getting me all excited. It's a blue bird that has like a reflective back with a brown stomach. I'm gonna have to. My ex-girlfriend, every time I'd be like telling her about my bird story, she'd be like, "That is the whippersnake of the 13th century. His name is Bob." And then she sends me the link, so I'm gonna have to hit her up. But yeah, we'll get this story done. We're all different, and that's where the conflict comes from. Generational, gender, etc., etc. But we all know that. That makes sense. No one will argue that point. But well, this is where this comes from, actually. So I always read these books about that because I'm curious. Why are we different, and how do we deal with different people? Because we need to. We live in a world filled with different people, so whether you like it or not, you're going to encounter different people. That makes sense. No one is arguing with me on that point. All right, I need your help. Should we go straight? If we go straight, we're going to be next to the highway. It's going to be all loud and stuff. If you go this way, it's going to be quiet. What do you think? To the left, or to the right? Now this actually, I might have to. All right, we're going quiet. That makes sense though. Quit, save your lungs. Quiet. Go to the beach. Yo, I wanted to go to the beach. Actually, today is actually beach day in Japan. Japan made a holiday to force Japanese people to go to the beach, and they got a mountain day too. Next 2 months from now. So I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm gonna go because I got a couple of reasons. One reason, who doesn't want to see a bunch of beach bodies? Not all beach bodies, but you know, some. Two, I ain't been to the beach in a minute. Three, I'm off. Why not? Four, because Corona, well, I thought because Corona is doing Corona things, it wouldn't be so busy. But a friend of mine, my coworker, was saying she lives next to the beach and that shit is packed just as, I mean, it's the beach. It would attract the people who don't really give a damn. And as I said, I ain't trying to court death. Plus, I gotta work tonight, so I didn't want to. I don't know, man. I might. I got some Amazon. Ah, I bought a So, as I, we're just going in and out. Um, I have to use the AC because it's just stupid hot, and what the hell am I gonna suffer for? So, AC. I had to move all my equipment into the room. I have two rooms. One was the studio. One would have been like the not studio. I guess it would have been the living room, but I don't use it like that. It turns into my studio, my photo studio when I do photo shoots at my house. So I'm moving all the equipment back into the room because there's only one air conditioner in my stupid apartment, and they won't let me put a mountable one. So I was thinking, what should I do about that? And then I was like, all right. Anyway, so I bought a I want to start doing like videos for beat making, tutorial type. I had tried before using the other room, but it gets hot. So anyway, so I got a little portable backdrop, a little stand with a little chroma screen so I could do some random shit. I got a light. I have lights, but this one's controllable and dimmable via an app. Maybe I didn't have to go out that way, but I just thought it was cool. And it's a tech thing. I wanted it. And I got a USB hub. I got all these USB equipment that I can't technically ever use at one time because I think I got four. I got a little DJ one. I got a little Ableton Push Wannabe. I got a knob thingy, and I got a Sensor Morph. And if you know what I'm talking, you know what I'm talking. So I want to have them all plugged in all the time, not unplug one. And I got my machine. So today I'm supposed to be getting the rest. I'm supposed to be getting my boxes. So I feel bad for you. I mean, I prefer it being hot than cold, and I prefer it being hot than rainy. And this is good. In morning time, night times, I'm good to go. And in general, I'm at work most of the time. And they be blasted. I wear a coat when I go to work because it just be cold for no damn reason. So I'm good, but now I'm on holiday, so a couple of weeks I'm gonna have to be blasting my AC. All right, here we go. I'll get it in there. You'll check this out. We've been doing this for 40 minutes, and my battery, will it tell me from over here? It won't tell me, but my battery is still kicking. Let's see how long this one lasts. See how long the battery goes. But we're all different. So the other day, I read this book. It's called Surrounded by Idiots. I think I was talking about it. And it breaks people up into 4 categories, which interestingly enough, if you ever watch any of those movies, Meantime in Texas feel like Seattle. Seattle. What's Seattle weather like? Cold? Windy? Seattle. Well, if Texas is hot, I don't think it's... I mean, be safe out there, man. Don't be heat stroking and all that good stuff. Rainy. We had a rainy week last week, and it really bothered me because I couldn't walk. I would wake up and be like, am I going to risk it? And I would... At one point, I put on one of those raincoats, which was just pointless because you're not getting rained on, but now you're like in a sweat box. So it felt the same way when I got to work, sweaty and ugh. But we're gonna get that story in there. We're gonna get it. So I finished this book, Surrounded by Idiots, and I was like just feeling really. It was great. It breaks people. Oh, okay. In the movies, like Maze Runner, like teen movies, their books, they usually separate the groups into 4. Or even Avatar, I think there was 4. Earth, Wind, and Fire. There's always 4. And the colors are red, green, blue, and red, blue, green, and yellow. Like, just do a quick search. A lot of stories end up doing that. Red is usually fire or the strong, the dominants, the fighters of the little tribe or whatever. And then they have thinkers. Like that shit's not just random. They're pulling that from the book, the DISC system, DISC, dominant. Don't quote me, Google it. But so I was reading this book, and just aside, sometimes brown. I mean, the book. This is like based on Martin. That's all I remember. Martin. He came up with 4. But, you know, people, it's hard to categorize everyone into 4 groups, but his had 4 and it does like 80%-ish. But the dude, Martin, he made Wonder Woman. Because I was Googling, the book that I read is based on the book that he wrote. So when I Googled him, I kept seeing Wonder Woman popping up. I'm like, what do the two got to do to each other? But apparently they kind of asked him about his opinions on something, and his wife was like, there's no women characters who are based on love, or she's like, there's no characters based on honesty, love, and heart shit. Not saying that's bad, but you know what I mean. So what the Wonder Woman character is based off of his wife's input or some shit like that. That's fascinating and scary, because this dude's a behavioral psychologist, where Freud and the likes were studying people they had problems. He was studying normal people. He was the first to like really research why normal people do what they do. Now, not trying to scare nobody or get your little tin hats on, but how many people watch animations and cartoons and they were using psychology in it? They're consulting guys. Like that shit. I'm just gonna go off here just for a little bit. It's not my purpose of this one, but there must be a reason why we only have one Black Panther. Like it's not a business. Man, just think about that. Anyway, so he made the book, which I'm gonna get now, but I'm reading the other guy, Surrounded by Idiots, and he also made a book, Surrounded by Psychopaths, which I'm reading now, which I would be reading now or audio booking it now. I'm talking to y'all. So anyway, I finished the book and I was really glowing, like, wow, this is just interesting. So I was telling a friend, I said, man, you're yellow. He said, what do you mean you're yellow? I said, in the book, there's red, blue, green, and yellow. Yellow people are very talkative, they're friendly, what have you. And you're yellow. And he's like, he said something to the effect, I don't want to be categorized by some book. I said, yeah, I know what you mean, but in the book, that's what it said that a yellow would say. And everything he said is what the yellow would say. I don't know if the author purposely did that, because I just thought it was fascinating. Like, the book said, if you tell a yellow that they're yellow, they're going to say, I'm not yellow. And that's what my friend did. Now, there's positive attributes for everyone, and there's negative ones. So I said, and one of the negative attributes of a yellow is they don't listen. He said, what do you mean I don't listen? And then we're going round and round and round. And I've been thinking about it for a while. Thinking about it. And this is the point that I came up with. So we're all the same. We all die and we all pay taxes eventually. Or we don't, we go to jail. But we all think differently, right? We all have different ways of communicating, different ways of interacting. And this is the part that is fucked up. It doesn't matter if it doesn't really matter what you think, what I think. It's how you interpret it, how the other person receives it. And if they receive it wrong, then that's what it is. So my friend, he received everything I said. He did not like it, and he was offended. And he said, I'm offended. And he was offended. And if I didn't read the book, I would have dug into what I'm saying. I'm like, I ain't calling you offended. But the book said, when with a yellow person, it gives tips what you should do or what you shouldn't do. And I was aware of it, and I'm just like, oh snap. And I had to, because I like to argue. That's one of my traits. I'll argue ad nauseum about whatever. Pull out books and research, especially if I'm reading it from a book. Like, it's one thing if I'm like, yeah, I think. I'm quoting the motherfucker. This is what the man said. I'm just the messenger here. But it doesn't matter, especially if you value the friendship or you have a choice. But I'm curious that I doubled down on, why am I so receptive to this? I mean, I'm a blue and a red. Reds are fiery and assholes. He said, not you, Matthew. And I was curious about that, but we're different things at different times. Right now, I'm chilling. I'm walking around. There's no need to. I'm probably exhibiting yellow traits, yellow creative. Blue, blues are like very analytical and not talkative. So I was thinking, like, when I be doing what I be doing it. So how am I a blue? But usually I'm not like this. And if you start adding people into where I'm standing, I stop doing this and turn into a fly on the wall and observe. So in general, we're everything at different times, but we have different parts of us at different times, and different people pull. And this is outside of drinking and being under any influence or stress. But this is fascinating to me. So then yesterday I was walking and I was thinking more about this because now I'm reading his other book, and it's kind of like we're fucked. I use the word fucked because we're fucked. How can and this is what it is. How can you know what you don't know? Like I'm saying this to you and you might be like, "Oh, that's the first time I heard that. Sounds interested." But you're receptive to hear me if you've been watching me. You know I ramble. But if you didn't know me, if you just tuned in right now, you're like, "Hey, what's going on? Black guy in Japan." And you hear me rambling, you probably would be like, "That's not what I want to hear." And you're gone. You wouldn't be receptive to it. I kind of earned. I'm a blue wholehearted and the only person that gets invited to the club and find sun sit down for the phone. Yeah, like a blue person can. Let me just go through these real quick. Like, in my head or out of my head, there's a cartoon with a red guy who's like fire, yellow's joy, blue was blue, and they had purple, but there's no purple in the disc system. But basically, red people are fire. They're like CEOs, if you can imagine. They're the ones who are like always in your face. They shout, but when they are finished, they just go back as nothing ever happened. They're just mad. They focus on what's at hand. They don't take things personally. They don't hold grudges. They get shit done. They shout. They raise their voice. They like to stand like they're Superman. Hey, look at this cat. Where you at, cat? Say hello. I'm not. My bad. I don't like to be disturbed in nature. He was just chilling, doing his thing. Is that him down there? Is that a doppelganger? Or is there's no way he could have jumped and ran. Maybe it's his cousin. His cousin, brother, mother, sister, father. Yeah, so that's red. Then there's yellow. Yellow, like in the movie Joy. In fact, they're making a part two, as they do with everything, of that movie. In my head, out of my head. Anyway, yellow, they're people. They like to keep relationships. They're the life of the party. They tell jokes. They are creative. They are fun to be around. Yeah. Then there's green. Green encompasses most people. Most people are green. Green is a combination of everyone, a little bit of here and there, a little bit of here and that. They are agreeable. They don't like to rock the boat, which is interesting because you can't. Now the problem with this is, if you start categorizing people, then it turns into like stereotyping people, and then it turns into prejudice. We don't want to do all that, but in general, that's how they are. So I was thinking Japan is kind of like that. They don't want to rock the boat. They're agreeable. They don't want to, and it works. Everyone's working together. Side note, yesterday I was talking to, every day I'm at work and I talk to the teachers I work with. And one of the students said that she likes cats. Now, I like cats. You see me stopping every time I see a cat. And she's like, yeah, because cats are, I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher this. But she said cats are tsundere. Sunderu. Sundera? Sundere. But it translates to, sometimes the cat be all like, hey, what's going on, man? And other times the cats be like, fuck off. Now, I she said she likes cats, and that's the attribute that she was trying to explain in English. So then the teacher's like, yeah, that's the one's a tough one. And the more she's talking about it, and I'm thinking, how is that an attribute to want? And then she said this. She said, it's like Japanese men. And I'm like, damn, because I don't know, not wishy-washy. There's many words we can use, but the way they were implying it, it's like, because then she pulled up some anime and she just made it into some, and I felt bad because there's me, there's a student, and then there's the assistant teacher, and we're just talking about this over the student. Like, this is above. I think the student was 11. The nuances of what it meant is not important to her. She just wants us to know that she likes cats because they exhibit this. But I was curious, and the more she explained it, like, huh? And then she said Japanese men, and like, wow, they get a bad rap. But that was just weird, and I was going to research the word later. I mean, we could say two-faced. We could say wishy-washy. We could say, um, um, I mean, we got a lot of words, but most of those words are negative. Like, to call someone that is not an endearing thing. But yeah. But anyway, moving on. That's green. And then blue people are analytical. They like to have a system. They don't like their time wasted. Neither do reds. Reds don't like their time wasted. But reds don't care about the details, just big picture. Where blues, they care about the details. So if you're coming to them, you better know everything you need to know. Blue people, if you try to criticize them, they're probably going to criticize you back and hit you with, well, yeah, but on the November 19th, you did this, and that was obviously against the rule. That's my default state. Like, if you came at me, I'm gonna hit you with that. And I it's not even like I'm just. It's not like I'm maliciously trying to do that to anyone. But if you were to step on my toes for some reason, you better come correct. Pull up the footage. Pull up the. My boss did that to once. He came in and like, hey Matthew, da 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 da. I'm like, sir, are you aware that? And I just started going. We were in there for like 4 hours. It was like a 5 minute. Just stop doing what you're doing and get back to work. We're in there for 4 hours. I pulled out a PowerPoint and I said, listen, this is my presentation. You ain't paying me what I'm worth. I'm worth more than what you're saying. And usually when a blue does that, unless he's dealing with a red, most people back down because they weren't anticipating that. And this is where I come back to, this book was enlightening, because if you could understand how most people are going to act in most situations, then you could choose to go with the flow. Here, we're just jumping around. I just read, and this is a quick book. It was Black Thought from the Roots. He came out with a book, like the Vid family. I don't know the Vid family, but probably. Um, but he said you got to read that book if you're into hip hop or you just like dope audiobooks, short dope audiobooks. Like the books, the one I'm talking about, 10 hours. That's another reason I walk. You just walk and listen, and it just goes. But in his book, it's only like an hour and a half, and 20 or 30 minutes is actually music. Sometimes he's rapping, sometimes it's just music, and it's good music. Because in the past, let me see. No, telling new people to like the vid. Haha, damn, told your boss. I'll let him 10 hours. We'll go back. I didn't used to do 10-hour audiobooks. But then Corona hit, and I'm like, shit. So I started just going through them. Miles Davis was 10 hours. Thelonious Monk was 10. No, these are 13 hours. No, 18. They were hella long. Like, it seems musicians just want to tell every little detail. And then when he was 5, he fell. But it's interesting. But anyway, this book was only an hour and a half. And, oh yeah, thank you. Too much knowledge to store. Just, I stopped watching autobiographies. I used to love those about musicians, learn the details, but they just leave out so much to fit in like a, I don't know, 3 hour or lower. And a lot of it's not flattering, and it wouldn't look so nice on the big screen. Like NWA, Dr. Dre was smacking women, I believe. I wasn't there. And I remember there was a big thing that it wasn't in the video. But why the hell would he put that in the movie? Like, oh, the one time I did this and I was... it wouldn't track. It's been learning more about musicians. Yo, man, the 70s? I mean, everyone comes... Like, I didn't like... I'm jumping around, but, you know, that's what we do. I could say I didn't really listen to jazz. I didn't like jazz, I could say that. I knew what it was. I do like horns and brass. I always knew about Miles Davis, but it wasn't something I would be like, yo, man. And what's crazy, at my college like 8, 10 years ago, it was a summer. You can kind of get a sense of who I am by just by this. It was summertime. I was sitting there. I went to the public library, and I was getting the CDs and ripping them and turning them into MP3s and putting them on other CDs, and then onto DVDs, and then onto hard drives, and onto, now they're on the hard drives, and then into the cloud. So I got the anthology of jazz. So I had all these great jazz people. I've never listened to it because I just wanted to sample from it. And I did, but I never listened to it. Yeah, I've been in the funk position. Man, let me stop here because I've been rambling. Live chat. I've been learning. I've been on the funk kick, open Motown. Whatever you do, don't get Spectrum. And I pay $200 just for trash. I mean, I'm on iTunes, $10, and any whim. If I get a, like, it's great, man. Just listen to music. All right. So let me see if I can get back. Let's go back. Go back. Musicians, autobiography, 10 hours. Oh, yeah. Black Thought, he made a book, and he said his intro was, like, again, I knew the Roots, and I actually bought their tape from, what's an old school thing that no people under 20 would know, but I can't even remember because it's gone. But I remember buying the tape because it had the instrumental What We Do, and I remember I was freestyling to it on in my friend's car as we drove to Washington because we were going Washington D.C. because we were going to meet. Was it Washington D.C.? It was Harrisburg. Yeah, we were going to the capital of Pennsylvania because I met someone on I Am Messenger, and we went to the house, but we didn't knock on it. Like, that's my memory. I remember all that. When we came back, we kind of had a skid on the ice because it was slippery. And my friend, he don't rap. You ever use a sample off of that on your beats? I've never listened to it because I'm a hoarder. So I just started hoarding shit, and I spent time making it all neat and cute, but I never listened to it. All right, we're going. So after I listened to that 12 hours of Miles Davis, it made me have an appreciation for him and his peers, Thelonious Monk, Philly Joe, and it just. So then I jumped onto iTunes and I started to listen to that, and it's like, nah. But then Thelonious Monk music, when I read his book and then I listened to him, yeah, Coltrane, all those people. So I listened to it, and then I could fuck with Thelonious because he was a crazy dude, man. For a minute I was saying I'm like Thelonious, but we're gonna go down here. You know I love walking by rivers. But yeah, I like Thelonious Monk, right? Dude, he was like a big baby. He said, you just compare yourself. I'm like, nah, that's my nature. I'll get shit done, but I'm just kind of, I just want to do what I want to do. But he was to the point where, like, he's back in the days when they used to beat black people. I mean, they still beat black people, but now back in the day when that shit happened, that was just, anyway, so he's sitting there, he's like, I'm thirsty. He goes into like a white restaurant. He goes up to the woman. He says, I'm thirsty. She's like, you can't be here, sir. Or maybe she said, you can't be here. This is Negroes. No Negroes allowed. And the man didn't move. I still think, well, I can't. I mean, you'll start seeing the sweat coming off of my head in a couple, because now the sun is up. But dude just stood there. He went kind of tonic, like a little kids do sometimes. And the cops came, and he's a big dude, and the cops were like, "You gotta move," and he just didn't move. And then they like touched him, and he's like pushed him, and he's a piano player, and they beat the motherfucker till his hands are all like this. Like, it's just nah. I do that sometimes. Like a couple weeks ago, I'm in class teaching, and is that a ain't nothing of importance? So I'm in class teaching, and I have an assistant teacher. She's older than me. Maybe she's like 65 or whatever. A retired teacher who came back to teach. We get along, but my personality is just let me do what I do. Don't be interrupting me. But her style is I'm going to interrupt you every 3 seconds because that's what I do. So I'm trying to teach these kids a new game, and the first time it's rough, the second time, but by the fourth time, I figured out how to say it in English in a way that they can understand it and enjoy the game. I feel bad for the first class because they just get the roughest version. They are the test pilots by default. So I prepared all this extra stuff for these kids. I'm blue, man, but I'm also red. I'm blue and red, and I'm yellow when I'm on stage performing. And I guess I'm green because I live in Japan and I kind of turn this way. This is the book. But anyway, so I'm trying to explain to the kids, like I'll say, how's the weather? The sun's out there. They can say, sunny, it's sun. They know what I'm saying. I look out the window. She's like, Tenki desu ka? Not Tenki. Tenki. Well, she says it in, but what is the weather? He's saying, what is, and I'm looking at her. I give her the look. The Miles Davis look, to be exact, because he's also like, so every time I speak, she's translating what I'm saying. And I'm just like, whatever. So we get to the game, which I spent time thinking how I want to say it. And she starts talking over me. So then I just look at her and just stop talking. And she just starts translating. And then I just didn't know what to do. I did give her the look, but I'm in the classroom with kids, so I can't give her the look. But I'm looking at her like, actually, I didn't look at her. I looked down because I didn't want to give her that look. So I'm just standing there like, shit, man, I know I can't be doing this. I'm a teacher. I don't want to cause no issues. But what am I supposed to do? Say, woman, would you shut the, like, I don't know how to process. I didn't know how to process it. Like a kid, like Thelonious Monk. So after I read this book and I'm like, wow, we do the same things. And then I listen to his music. Like when he be doing his music, that's how I feel when I'm doing my music, just in my own world. But yeah. So those are the positive attributes of all the colors. We're going all around. The negatives would be the red people might yell at you and not really care about your feelings. They don't really listen. They're task oriented. They just try to get shit done. They take shortcuts. What's going on? What's going on? The yellow people, they are friendly, but they don't really listen deeply. They want to be everyone's friends. If you are negative or have some deep thoughts, it turns them off. Is a Japanese woman or foreigner? Wait, we got to go back in there. Let's see here. Live chat. You're blue. Hit it with the miles. Oh, they have you up in it. Do you have any good books? Ryman, Jap. What? What's that? Good books? Man, I read so many. But again, it's if that's your thing. But right now, I'm reading Surrounded by Psychopaths, which is interesting. But it's not so interesting. It's the first book that he wrote, Surrounded by Idiots. I think everyone should read that book. They read that book, the world. Well, here's the thing. He wrote the book Surrounded by Idiots, and it teaches you how to deal with other people. And why I liked it is because it applies to men, women, black, white, lesbians, anti. There's no. It fits everyone, so that's cool. And then and it's free. Like if you go onto Scribd, it's an app. It's like $6. It's like the poor man's Audible. You pay $6 and you get access to PDFs and all types of shit. Love it, and that book's on there for free. You can download it, so even when you don't want to pay for it, and they got a free month subscription. I need to start getting sponsored for shit, man. Talking anyway. So yeah. So the yellows, they don't listen deeply. They get offended easily. They will twist things so you they victimize themselves. They don't take responsibility for shit. They always blame other people. It's a pretty big list, but it's balanced. You know, there's good points and bad points of everything. Greens, their personality is they go with the flow. They're passive, lazy. They don't really do much. You know, they're agreeable, but they don't really rock the boat. So if something is happening, they're not going to be like, "Yo, that's." Now, we're not all, not every. Very few people are just one color. No one is a Gumby. Gumby. So we got to mix, and different situations make us do different things. But that's green. And then blues are slow. Blues, greens are common. Yellows, because yellow would be a person who likes to get up and speak. Most people don't like to speak. So of the greens, but yeah, um, the blue people, they're too slow. They're always checking things. Like the other day, what was I doing? I I packed my bag. I put something inside of it. I think like I put I don't know, maybe I put my wallet. Then I walked 2 steps out of my house like, did I put my wallet in my bag? And I double checked because I rather know that I have my wallet, take that 3 seconds, than be down at the station and be like, shit, I forgot my wallet. Side story. So yesterday I work close to my work. Yes, the details. And if you listen to how I speak, it's a detailed story. I'm like jumping back around to make sure it's coherent, which pisses off, not piss, no, it annoys a red and a yellow because a red doesn't have the time. They just get to the point. A yellow is like, oh, that's great, but they're not listening. Greens, they will listen because they just want to agree, even if they don't like the story. Like, oh yeah, I really don't want to say he seems to be having a good time. And blues would be taking notes, like yeah, on point 3 at the 5 minute mark. I don't think I ever met a blue who ever did that to me. I meet a lot of yellows and reds. They literally be like, I'll be like looking for the right word to say, and they'd be like trying to fill in my story. Don't fill in my story, because I will literally go in a different direction. Just anyway, damn, greens are so yes, but just pull it back. So the four groups, most people will fit into it nicely. Some people don't, because that's just how it is. And I was really excited because now, because a lot of the problems we have is because we just don't understand other people. But if you can understand, that's the first step. And this goes back to, if you don't know what you don't know, then you don't know what you know, right? So, like, if people would be like, yeah, that's Matthew, he's a blue, they would know, A, don't come to me with X, Y, and Z because you're a blue. It's not like one be all, but because a lot of people, they might say something along the line, I just don't understand why he does them things, right? But this gives you just a little clue. I mean, we still humans and we do change. So anyway, I was telling my friend about the book and I was really excited, but we got into this argument because I called him a yellow and he didn't like it. He didn't like, that's what the book would say. And I was like, oh man, I thought this would have worked. But everyone is different, as I started in the beginning of this long pulled out thing. So the next book the man wrote, Surrounded by Psychopaths, apparently some people use the weaknesses of people to get what they want. which makes sense. Those are people like that. And his estimate, he said, he's this dude from Sweden. He said about 2% of the populations are psychopaths. Not like Hannibal Lecter, but just psychopaths. 2% in his estimate in America, 7 million. 7 million people are psychopaths. 2%, pick your place. That is a big number. And then he started saying shit like, you're more likely to meet a psychopath than go into a car crash. You're more likely to have... It's scary. And he even put in his stupid book, I'm not trying to scare you. Well, I'm scared. I'm not scared. Scared. But there's people out there who are maliciously trying to hurt you. Use your... Like, I'm not perceptive to... So blue personalities, you can't really compliment them. If you're like, I'm really impressed. That means shit. Like, of course I'm good. I've done categorized yellow people. If you were to like give them a compliment, they start blushing and gushing and oh Lord, international. Well, I mean, even it seems like check out end of the road. Not. I should have took that path. Man, I'm gonna have to super jump or I'm gonna jump it. I'm just gonna jump across here. Could you imagine if I jumped across there? I'd be like, oh snap, Ryman just did a super jump. Ryman is, but yeah, we'll see where this takes us. We're in foreign territory. I've never been down here. But yeah, malicious people, they're trying to hurt you. And some people are not doing it to do it per se. Like it's just their nature. Because again, you don't know what you are until you are what you are. It gets all fuzzy and stuff. But I'm fascinated by that, Like I met a woman. We were romantic a little bit. And her thing was she likes to make people happy. Like that's her thing. She wants to take care of everyone. Yellow personality. So we were walking around in the grocery store. And everyone who came by, like she's like, we're walking and talking. And she said something like, man, I'm not feeling good. I just don't feel good, blah, blah, blah. Then like a neighbor or someone would come along and she'd like perk up and be like, hi, da, 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 da. And then she goes back to, I don't really feel good. And I'm looking at her, what? It's like, I don't want them to worry about me. Where a blue person, they just look the way they feel. Or they just, but that's how she's wired. That's how I'm wired. I can't tell her not to be that way. It would be difficult for some, oh shit. Wow. We just walked back to where we came. I don't know if you guys remember this spot. Wow. I didn't even know I was here. That's crazy. Let's see. How did I get here? Interesting. Let's see. All right. We'll walk back to where we came. But yeah, she was just like that. And one of our last conversations we were having, I was telling her that just some real... So blue people are usually accused of being pessimistic. But blue people will say they're just realists. Well, I'm a real pessimistic person. But, sometimes I be getting into my thing and it's not happy thoughts. It's not negative thoughts. It's not like, it's just what it is. 2% of the populations are probably psychopaths. It's just a fact. But other people, oh, no, that number's too high. Oh, no. So that's a yellow person. They'd be, oh, no. The world can't be such a, it's only 2%. There's 98 other percent people. So I was talking like that, and then she just kind of kept tuning me out. And the last thing she said that just, I blew a fuse. She said something like, look at the puppy. Like I'm talking about, yeah, my mom and dad are sick. Oh, my dad's sick, my mom's doing the best they can. And she's like, look at the puppy. I'm like, huh? And I look outside, we're in the car, and there's a puppy. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? And that's how we ended. We didn't talk after that. Like, all right, whatever, you respect what I'm trying to say. But if I would have read the book, I would understand that's her way of dealing with what I was saying. Her coping mechanism, her way she's wired. That's her way of saying, stop talking about this. But yeah. But it's not pea brain. It's just how we're wired. It's we came into this world with certain traits, and whether you like it or not, that's just like I wish I could like do something without thinking deeply about it. Just, I mean, certain again, we're not robots. We change. Jumping back, in the Roots book, he was going on about every 7 years we change. The book is called 7 Years. So every 7 years we change. And that's a biological thing. There's cells in our bodies that die after 7 years. Didn't know that. I heard the 7 years thing. But we're in different places, but on a cellular level, we're different on the inside. And his book is just, he wanted to reflect his life, blah, blah, blah. But that's how we are. And you can't really fight that for long. It takes effort. But at the same time, if you want to change, you want to change. But just know that, like, someone who doesn't like cold weather, they're not going to move to Alaska to change themselves. They're just going to stay away from cold weather. Someone who, you know what I'm saying. Anyway. Yeah. Let me see if anyone said anything. My bro blessed with the horse lung. Yo, man. I don't know if you... horse lungs. Horse lungs. Yo, what's that? It was on Netflix. Mr. Horse? Not Mr. Horse. Logan? Not Logan. What was it? It's a Mr. Ed? That's the old school horse. Yeah, BoJack. When I saw it at first, I was like, actually, I don't... Netflix has that thing, be like, you finish whatever you wanted to watch, and then you just kind of start watching. Oh, shit, it's a snake. Ooh, look at that snake. I think it's a snake. Let's see if it's a snake. Tell me if this is like a killer snake, because I need to cross. It is alive. Ooh, we got a snake. Oh, you can't even see it. There he is. Hey, snake. Wow. Ooh. Dun, 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 dun. That's me running. That's me running. Ooh, I don't think... Oh, man. I'm about to go back on the street. You see one snake. There's probably another snake. Snake Mama and Snake Papa. I love it when they call me Snake Mom. Yeah, I cannot... I'm sorry. I'm... Because snakes don't be bothering you, but when you step on them, they get mad. And they don't like being stepped on. Haven't seen here low, deep. Man. But this path is pretty walked on, so I don't see how they could just be out here not knowing. He might be hungry, though. Man, if I get bit by a snake, this is what I got. This is what I need you guys to do. First, I need you guys to, like, notify my moms. Actually, I don't even have a freaking contingency plan. Like, if something happens to me, there's no one I can call that's gonna... Like, my fear is I'll be, like, dead in my house for, like, 2 months. Nobody would know. Because no one comes. That's my fear. And it's not so much... I don't mind that no one knows, but... I don't know, it'd be a mess. Someone gotta clean up a dead body. Plus, all my music is stuck where it is. Like, I got shitload of music on my phone that no one's gonna be able to get in. But I'm working on that too. Alright, let's see here. Have you seen... I don't be looking for snakes. But I did see a dead snake about 2 months ago. His head was smashed in. He was in the street. And when I used to have my drone, I used to see some snakes on the road or in the morning. Should be scary. Wow, there's spider webs. Ooh, man, we gotta get to the street, man. We're back actually where we started. Stupid spider webs. I don't like spider webs. Alright, let me check some messages. Let's see here. Live chatting. Having snakes at your door, stepping on the sun, it's a life spirit. Have you seen my snakes nice? And after the snake whisper. If I'm whispering to snakes, it's probably, get away, leave me alone. I don't know, man. Snakes are just different. My friend had an albino snake. I think I touched him. A little white with red beady eyes. Scary. Actually, in Japan, there was some dude with some big ass snake, right? And that big ass escape. And where I live, in my little neighborhood, the snake escaped. And now the snake is like on the loose. They couldn't find him. It was like, it was in the news and everything. What? So I be doing my GPS tracking shit and it didn't track. Maybe I forgot to set it up. How's the hip hop scene now compared to when you first? Yo, man, that is such a great question. We're gonna go this way. The hip hop scene is, I mean, I don't know the Japanese side so much. I mean, that's also changed. I mean, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, they're just exposed to all types of hip hop. But the foreign scene, there's so many crews out here now that are just basically rapping in the streets, which is cool. I'll be on my Instagram and be like, wow, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. And, you know, everyone's coming from their perspective on things, which, like my perspective, you know, I'm a foreigner in Japan, aka rhyming gaijin, and it's basically what I do. Other people out here be selling that shit. I don't think anyone can really sell shit in Japan like that. Law's little tough right there, because you'll get kicked out if you're a foreigner and you get caught with whatever. It's different. You ain't gonna get no lawyers to fight the case. There ain't gonna be no, I got money to sit on top of the law, but on some Jay-Z shit. Ain't gonna be no Ricky Ross type. I sold. You could talk that shit, but I just don't think that's feasible out here. But you know, there's those kind of rappers. There was this one guy I saw, a Japanese dude. He reminded me of T.I. When he came to the spot, he had 2 Japanese girls on his arms. He was just looking dope. And his flow, he was the first rapper I ever seen, Japanese rapper. He was rapping in, like, I guess T.I. was his dude. Maybe that was, he's just living that lifestyle. But he was just killing it. He'd be in Japanese, and I think he was freestyling. And he was young. I saw one dude, he was on some, he was influenced by maybe No Flex Zone, no, but like when they first came out, like that sound. So he came out and he's jumping around. Now it was a hip hop event, like everyone in that room respects some Wu-Tang. I don't think he ever heard of Wu-Tang. But yeah, it's cool. It's out here. I remember, yeah, those guys. I remembered because their voices were so not appropriate. I mean, I guess it's their speaking voice, their rap voice. But I was talking to a guy and he's just like, yeah, they're never gonna make it. I don't love hearing that conversation. But they're still around. They doing their thing. Yeah. Let me check. Mouth sound of voices. I mean, I was listening maybe a month or 2 ago, I was reading on pop music. And, or voice writing. Well, it's all the same. Songwriting. So the mouse voice, or the high-pitched voice, it's kind of signifies energy. Like a low baritone voice has a different vibe to it. Now in hip-hop, traditionally, you wanted a deep voice. But now, you know, the high voice. So at one point, they listen to drill rap over there, I'm sure. If it's Like back in the day, Japan, if your foreigner stepped foot on the land, they chopped the head off of the foreigner. So they weren't really embracing anything. But when they did start letting foreigners in, like listen to like the rock scene, Elvis was popping off, so they had a lot of hybrid looking at Elvis sounding rockabilly, happy days kind of thing. When the Beatles came, they did the Beatles. When jazz came, like Miles Davis was coming out here, they did that. You can find all this on iTunes. So hip hop never came because they got their really strict laws, and in general, hip hop people weren't like leaving their hoods respectively. But YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, like they got it now, and they can take it and twist it and flip it. It's beautiful. Not for me, but speaking of up to date stuff, drill music. One of my favorite songs, because after wow, there's like a spider web flying on me. They listen to drill. After I listen to like pop music, all right, and after I listened to it, it said, wow, I'm like, feels like I'm not zoomed out. All right, let's see here. Let's come in here. It won't let me do it. All right, all right, we're gonna hide. Okay, I guess that's not working. After I listened to the book about pop music and whatever, it's like you got to listen to music. I don't listen to music. That used to be my thing, but then how can you know again what you don't know? So I got on iTunes. I bought an account or subscribed, and I just started listening to what people are listening to as I go on my walk. Some songs I'll be like, I'm not feeling it. Some songs, if I hear it enough times, it just, okay. And other songs, it's just so comical. Yeah, I feel like I ain't zoomed in. I'm sorry, because I'm moving so fast. All right, let me see if I flip it. All right, flip it, and then come back. Yeah, it does still seem, but we're almost done. Actually, we're not almost done, but I'm walking back to my house because 6 o'clock. I think I started at 5. We got 2 hours, man. But Whoop Day, everything about it is just weird. Not, I mean, all right. If I didn't see the rapper rapping, I just hear the song. When I hear Whoopty, I think Mortal Kombat. Whoopty. So I'm thinking, is that where that came from? Then, it got the beat. Timberland would have did something like that at some point. So whatever. Then you got the drums. The drums are cool. I like trap drums and all those. Like, they just keep innovating on that stuff. I mean, they all sound the same at some point, give or take. But then you get to the lyrics. The lyrics are like, it seems like 16 bars and it repeats. Which is, the song's like 2 minutes and 3 seconds. It's like a 2-minute song. Because in the book I was reading, it's like songs are short and you just gotta hit them with the hook, hit them with the catchy. And it seemed like they mastered that, which it's like a perfect playbook. I mean, well, let me see. I mean, well, this is an interesting. I mean, this is an interesting conversation about the music, because I now when I listen to pop, like the pop charts, 100 top pop charts, I listen to J. Cole's album. I don't really care for. He can rap. I like his beats, but I don't like. We'll just leave it at that. All right, let me jump back. I'm jumping all over the place. So the other day, I was at my school and the teacher, there was a poster of Billie Irish, I don't know, Billie. And I was like, "Do you know her?" And she's like, "My daughter listens to her. Is she even sing? All she does is..." Now that's, as I was saying, generational. She's, I was like, I know she's not like a Britney, she's not like a Whitney, but she can't sing. She is talented. It's just different. Like, I could freestyle all day, right? But here's the problem with a freestyle. You can't memorize a freestyle. I mean, you'd have to listen to it over and over again. But there's no hooks in there. There's no form. And pop songs follow a form. That's why they're popular. Like, could you imagine someone rewatching this live? Like, people really don't watch it live because it's in the moment. Streaming, that's what, in my opinion. So my freestyle, I might say something hot, but if it's buried under an hour and a half, no one is gonna. Someone's gonna have to like go out of the way to say he said this at that point, make a highlight reel. So this, it, so in a sense, I'm fucked. That so I figured this out after I read the book. It's like, oh. So what I can do is take a freestyle and then stick some hooks in it. They don't do it with Twitch streamers. They don't. Let me see where's. Eyelash. I mean, my image of J. Cole, he was some underground backpack type rapper. He was about his I don't follow have features. He talked about some real shit. That's what I thought he was. His new album, he has like every popular dude, and he said this line, "I can't be sweeping up shit at Wendy's." Why not? You're too good to sweep up shit at Wendy's? That lost me. You can't work? That's what you're saying? Or he said something like, there's a gun toting, someone's smoking, but I ain't gonna tell nobody when they approaching. We got. So you're just gonna. Now I know he's following the code, the law. I think Pharrell in an interview, he's like, I don't know how I know how he talks. I can't. Anyway, he's like, if some shit goes down, I'm telling the law. I'm not street. And some street dudes are like, you just lost your pass, man. I don't think he cares. But then again, Pharrell was making songs when he's all like, I'm in Virginia and we tell Frio and so I get confused about this shit. But again, you got to find your lane. Got to find your lane. So, so cool. I like the music. I like the tracks. It's just the words kind of, and then the features. It's kind of like recently, with 21 Savage, he said something about too much violence in the streets. I think his brother died. Rest in peace. No one's brothers or family should be killed. So maybe this might have changed his feelings. But when I think of 21 Savage, all I hear is wipe his nose. It was running. Like I like the song. It's and I this is what I shoot you. And then his newest song, like it'd be like if I came out and started saying everything I just talked about in this thing, and then I made another video saying something but there's a lot of layers to this. There's different people. Like, I read Timberland's book. I read a lot of books, audio books. And there's so many layers. The catchy part. Like, like I could make a catchy song on some dumb shit, but it would hurt me. Anything I put out, I sleep at night. I'm not, oh my gosh, people, like, this is what I do. So I couldn't really do something like that and feel good about it. So one area that I think I might dip into is educational rap. Because I'm a teacher. I really believe education is good and I'm in Japan, you have to really dumb yourself down, or you need a gimmick. And that's, I hate the but it is what it is, and it spans all genres. So in jazz, like jazz is jazz didn't like hip hop either, even though classic didn't like jazz. It's so can't the psycho repeats. But Kenny G flipped jazz on its ass to people. I saw this video where maybe he's a musician and his son is following suit. And one day the video showed the son like crying, and he's like, "Are you gonna do it again?" And the kid, "No." He said, "What happens if you do that again?" "You make me listen to Kenny G." And he's like, "How do we feel about Kenny G?" "He's not good music." I mean, Kenny G's Kenny G. He found what works for him, but to the detriment, or Miles wasn't selling like that. Thelonious wasn't selling. This is just how it is for how it. So for hip hop, it's not my era. Like I'm comfortable. Like I can sit here right now, be on this little stoop, and not have an issue. But there's some people in some parts. I mean, here, I was telling a friend, I said something like, some people live on the block and they gotta do what they gotta do, and he's like, "But why? I don't understand why they can't just like." And I'm like, we don't choose where we're born. We don't custom make our circumstances. It's a luxury. I was born in the area where I've been basically walking and talking to myself for about 30 years. I kid you not. But in some parts of the world, and sometimes that wouldn't have happened. Some places they be snatching children if they be walking by themselves. Stray bullets. So, you act accordingly. But hip hop. I mean, I love hip hop. Hip hop is hip hop. The direction it's going, I don't like that. But it's. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say about So Black Thought made a book on audiobooks, an hour and a half. It's called 7 Years, and he was saying you can't fight the wind. The wind doesn't break. You can't fight the waves. Like he spent like a good 2 minutes saying this, and I'm like, come on. But if a wave is coming towards you, you're not gonna stand firm and be like, the wave's gonna knock you down. You need to jump under the wave. You need to bend with the wind on some Mr. Miyagi type shit. So this is similar to music. You can't fight. That's why Madonna, she kept coming up in all my books. So in the Timberland book, Madonna reached out to him. Madonna reached out to him. I read another book called S1. He made Power for Kanye West. When you gonna do all that power? So she reached out to him. Like she just stayed reaching out to young people to keep, leeching off of them, or being in tune with what's going on, where some rappers be like, "Meh," and look where they are. We don't see them. Ain't nobody trying to fuck with them, You just gotta bend with the times or not. It's your choice. All right, let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. Drake, Kanye, Jay-Z, LL. You see the trend? Or if you can't bend, not Nas. Nas sounds Nas all the time. Eminem makes his own beats, and to his detriment. But yeah, you go with the flow or don't. But the point is, if you don't go with the flow and you break, your sales break, or you don't make it, you can't really hate. So listening to new music, that's something I'm doing now. So I can kind of have my ear to what's going on. I mean, I usually do that through the beats, but now I'm all insulated. I make my own beats. It depends, because Griselda sounds underground, but they have whatever extra top chat. It depends. but they incorporate. Yeah, I like the Griselda sound. I mean, I don't like what they're saying per se. I'm not a violent shoot you in the face and smell you. That's not my lifestyle. And I do believe what you listen to, like there was a dragon. A dragon tried to eat my head. But I believe what you listen to is what you do. So if you listen to a lot of "I'ma shoot you, I'ma 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 sell this," it's gonna be in the fabric of your brain. I believe that. But the beats are banging. I got some sample packs called a Griselda, or they said influences. And they're basically doing what Wu did, that jizza sound. RZA. RZA. Yeah. Live chatting along. So it would be helpful to collab artists in your field. When I was, let's see, S1, the engineers, man. I read this a long time ago, like actually read it. They were saying that Kanye West would send all the stems to this engineer and they'd have to mix it so blah, 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 blah. And S1, he was talking about how when he was working with Kanye, and he talked about how Kanye would rent out a studio or a mansion and, separate it into different floors, and different writers and different beat makers were sitting there, and he would come around like, "What you got?" And they'd plug in the aux, and he'd be like, "That's hot." And then Jay-Z would like go freestyle in the booth. Similar story I heard with Timberland, like this, like a factory. I read a book called The Pop Factory, where dude talked about different factories. It's a business. They just be pumping shit out. They said Beyonce has 75 songs, and then she has listening parties to cut down the songs, and then she would send out things. So it's very collaborative. So that solo producing artist, me, I don't really stand a chance in the sense that everything is coming from me and my weird way of seeing things. So you need that new energy, that new blood, young blood. It will get it to you because they're coming on some different energy. Old blood, they got that industry knowledge. But as I said from the beginning, or the whole point about me reading that book is, I just didn't understand why the conversations I was having would go the way they went. And now I do, a little bit more. I'm a blue. I think a lot of industry people, musicians, artists, are yellows. So blues and yellows they don't really gel so well, because yellows are in the moment, blues are shutting shit down. For example, I was in the studio a night session, and we are gonna, I had to work. I came from work and I had to go to work. They weren't working. And I remember I gotta get eggs. I remember they're like, "Yo, we gotta go to the store." I'm like, huh? The next thing I know, we're cooking eggs, or we're cooking food, they're pulling out drinks and doing everything except making music. And I remember feeling like, come on, man. Are we gonna make music, or are we having a barbecue? I remember I wrote my rap, and they still were doing whatever. I spit my rap, like, it wasn't productive for me. But here's a stupid thing, like, they would go on to do good stuff together as a group, as a unit, and I would go back to doing my thing by myself. This pattern repeats it just keeps happening that way. And I don't know why it is, but I think this book kind of gives me some clues about that. When it comes to music, I'm serious, even though it's art. Even though it's not supposed to be serious, but it's serious. It's why am I going to spend $1,300 for a beat machine and not know how to use it? Like, I literally spend hours hitting buttons. I mean, I read the manual and I hit some buttons, and then I jump on YouTube and watch those. I might even buy someone's tutorial on how to do some shit on my beat machine, because again, why am I paying $1,300 for a beat machine that but I don't find that with other people. You're like, ah. So yeah, yeah, but yeah, that's just what that is about. Yo, man, this is crazy, crazy. Live chat, viewpoint. It's just damn. Yeah, yeah, but it's cool, man. Like it's because there's like, all right. If you go back to the book, I'm sorry, this is the last time we're gonna talk about this book, but I like the book, and it im- if it gets someone to listen to it, but like this, here, let me come around and come down, and then we'll be done. But if you were to put a whole bunch of red people together, or a whole bunch of yellow people, or blue, you would think it would work. How you been, Ryan? I've been chilling, just walking and talking, talking and walking. Today's my first day. You should read The Private Life of Chairman Mao. Yeah, I'm looking through. That seems like an interesting book. I think Mao, that's, it shows how one man could push a group at once. I mean, a red behavior is usually the leaders of, like a blue wouldn't really want to be a leader. They might become one, but they're not good leaders. Greens, not good leaders, but yellows and reds usually are the CEOs of the companies. They're the ones, the driving force. And, force. You can, and then the psychopath book, he's saying that, surrounded by psychopaths, he's saying that people get into these positions because they want to control other people and blah, blah, blah. But if you're in a group of people, yes, leaders tend to be very stubborn. It's the catch. They're driven. They're focused. But then if you're driven and focused, you're not just going to stop being focused. Like, it's the catch, Like, I'm super serious and focused. So people love the music, or people may whatever. But then they meet me, I'm focused about everything. And it's just like, you gotta chill, man. Well, if I chill here, then I'm gonna chill there. And if I'm chilling here, I'm chilling everywhere. What is that? Oh, it's dead. It looks like a rat. We got rats. I hope it ain't Rat Sensei. What's his name? I don't. Yeah, you about to. I mean, when I read these books, like, it talked about Kanye. Now, we all know Kanye's Kanye and blase, 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 blase. But remember when Kanye was going on about this and that and the third, and he managed to accomplish what he wanted to accomplish, but people laughed at him. In fact, that's what people do. That's like a barrier, like the laugh barrier. If you can't get through that, you ain't going to go anywhere. So like the Wright brothers, because I was teaching those, we read the book to the kids. It's pretty high level for most of them. But anyway, so when the Wright brothers were deciding to make their little plane, there was no planes to be made, And they thought they were crazy, and they laughed at them. And every time they fell, the people ridiculed them. And the danger, like we were showing them the video of what it looked like to be flying on a Wright plane. No helmets, nothing protecting them. They're up in the air. That shit just drops. They're dead. And they were just driven, we're going to fly because that's what we want to do. And there was some people working with them. They hired people. And the little boy, one of the guy's son was there too. And he's just like, yeah, I want to fly. And his dad's like, I don't trust that shit. He's working with them. They're hiring him to do what they need to do. And dad don't even trust him. And at the end, he's like, I didn't even think they're going to fly. Like, that's the people that we're serving. And this is 1900 people. Nothing's really changed. People, So, but yeah, back to Kanye. People laughed at him, and now again, he's sometimes he's drunk, so he's not in his right mind. But when he's focused, the dude was saying he doesn't sleep, just be making beats, making beats, making beats, making beats. I don't know people who make beats as much as Kanye was making beats, you know. So then it makes me like, then I gotta make beats like that. And then I meet a fellow beat maker and like, yo, I just be making beats. And like, you gotta calm down, man. Like, no, how you listen to Dre, you listen to any of the people that you respect. They don't talk, they might just be talking to talk because they do that too after the fact. Yeah, you gotta do, but I do believe that at one point they were really grinding. So, and that's what kind of sets them apart. Even if you get lucky, you know. All right, here we go. Let me see. Live chatting. People, snakes in the ground, innovation. Yo, I mean, I only could speak from experience, but I woke up at 4:30, 5 o'clock. Did my little podcast, or not a podcast. We streamed for about 2 hours. And now my days, I haven't even begun. I'm gonna go get some eggs, and I'm gonna start working on music. And my day, I have to go to work at 5. That's like 8 hours of me time. Whereas if I would have stayed up late just watching YouTube and then wake up around 12 and da 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 da, like it's no joke, man. But we winding down. I just want to say thank you guys for watching the stream. I'm just rambling. I need that. I find that I need to get all this out. Like I read all these books and stuff, and I just need to, even if no one agrees with it, just get it out, and then fill back up, and then this keeps me normal. Because if I don't get it out there, yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, yeah, I'm on vacation now. I might take a little trip somewhere. My friend invited me to the mountains to take some pictures, so that might be interesting. And be safe. It's a crazy world. It's we can get killed for the color of our skin. We can get killed for what we breathe in. We can get killed for the things we. And we're lucky if we're in certain parts of the world. You could say whatever, but in some worlds, some parts of the country, they lock you up for the things you said. I'd probably get locked up for something I said. So, but yeah, and if there's anything to take away from this, people are different, but they're different in a way that is similar. And yeah, yeah. All right, we're gonna end right here in the shade. So, signing out. Let's see here. Say my goodbyes. All right, peace, 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 and peace. Peace like hair grease that I am wearing in my hair. All right, I'm out.